My father used to hit me.
My father used to hit me.
A lot.
A lot.
My father used to hit me.
On my naked
bum.
On my naked
a lot.
Bum.
He liked it, I guess.
He liked it, I
Always
guess.
on my
Back
then I thought almost everything was unfair. But
now
now I can understand how it
Now I
was.
can understand
Why
how
he hit me, I thought almost everything was unfair. But now I can understand how it was. Why he hit me. Anyhow, he didn't have to enjoy it.
He didn't have to
and that really was rotten.
That really was rotten.
Anyhow, he didn't have to enjoy it. That really
I had a boyfriend
rotten.
who used to comb his hair sort of like Elvis Presley.
I had a boyfriend.
I thought that was really cool.
Sort of like Elvis
to me, Elvis Presley was the greatest.
I thought that was really cool.
Actually, he was for all of us in those days.
To me, Elvis Presley was the greatest.
It makes me cry when I put the records on, the way it reminds me of those days.
It makes me cry when I put the records on, the way it reminds me of those days.
It really was nice. No one's going to give it back to you. What's gone
is gone. It really was nice. No one's going to give it back to you.
Sometimes too,
what's gone is gone.
The smell will remind me of the past.
Sometimes too, when I walk down the street, the smell will remind me of the past of a house. And I remember how it felt when I lived in the old apartment house. Me and my friends were all together, and I wasn't alone.
Past is past. My mother always used to say. She got it right with a lot of the things she used to say. Of course, first of all, you have to know what you want. If you want to study to be a typist, that's simple. Or a stenographer. Of course, you also have the option of finding a man to marry. In fact, everyone tries that. Anyhow, it's really good to have a profession to fall back on. A profession can spell freedom, you know. But of course, you still have to be adaptable. No way around that. Adapt.
No way around that.
You have to think differently than you really do.
Which doesn't mean you have to think differently than you really do.
To start, though, you have to repress your own thoughts.
To start, though, you have to repress your own thoughts.
You know, you can really get along with the dreams. It really has something to offer.
You know, you can really get along in this society. It really has something to offer.
Of course,
you just need to know when to hold back.
That'd be too much anyway.
Of course, you can't have
basically. You're responsible
too much anyway.
If you lift your hand, it's your responsibility.
You're responsible.
Or if you speak, it's your responsibility.
If you lift your hand, it's your responsibility. Or if you speak, it's your responsibility.
You're responsible for everything.
You're responsible for everything.
Your hands are so soft. Let me look into your eyes. You have the eyes of a married woman. I like married women. They appreciate tenderness.
One day, a letter came. It was blue. And I knew right away what was in it, because by that time I hadn't heard from my husband for 4 weeks.
The younger ones, you know how it is, they expect it. And then they want something different, but that's all a man who knows and understands women can offer. Right here is the most precious part of a human being, the chalice at the joint of the upper and lower arm. Do you enjoy my touch? I'm sure you do. And married women are so quiet, so reserved. You may rest assured that age is not a problem. I had a love that was going on 60, but older, wary of flesh responds so passionately to a lover's familiar touch. I love you. I love your forehead. Right here at the hairline. You are precious. You glow as a lily in twilight, dear one. I will make you happy. I'll explore every part of your body. You will come! To know your own skin through my touch. The feeling will never leave you. I tried a lot. Jobs, professional training. I'm not cut out for work. I use women now instead. And I'm always ready to return the favour. It all got started with one who hadn't had me for a long time. She really thought she was past it. Was she grateful? We both made out. I made some cash and she got herself a little taste of tenderness, you know. I don't think I have anything to be ashamed of. The women get more out of it than I do. Otherwise no one would even look at them anymore. And me? I suppose I could make my money somewhere else. It doesn't matter. And anyhow, they're all so thankful it's impossible to say anything bad about it. Sometimes I think I actually prefer the older ones. The younger ones. They scare me, really. I really get scared. Honest. I guess we all have our niche.
I've an uncle who was a copper, right after the war. Black market everywhere. One day they caught him dealing in cigarettes. He wanted to make some money for his family. He had to leave the force. After a time he bought himself a cart, became a street vendor, sold fruit. He'd go up and down the lanes between the houses shouting out, "Strawberries, fresh strawberries!" Then he got married. His wife used to help him. And then he started drinking. And every time he got stewed, he'd start crying and sobbing because he wasn't a cop anymore and that being a cop was really something special. Then he got sick. And he loved his wife very much. They decided to open a shop when he got better. genuine business. So he's pretty happy there now on account he's got a shop assistant who helps him. And I became a copper. What's your name? I asked your name. Christ, are you good looking? You got any ID? My aunt. She's retarded. Got a hole in her head, really nuts. Look, honey, I need the details so I can book it and let you go, otherwise you get the electric chair. Is your name Maria? Magdalena, Marion, Marina, shit, everybody has ID. People who don't have ID, I learnt this, they don't exist. Open your yap, you silly cunt, or I'll smack you. Okay. That's called obstruction. That pisses me off. Look, it's nature's law, I know, sort of. But the laws I have to obey, you don't find that in nature. They're in books. I turn to a page and I read vagrancy, for instance, or... But wait a minute. You look really intelligent. That's a designer dress. You're clean, well groomed. You ought to know your name.
I lived with a couple of women for a while. It was a commune, sort of. A group of women who talked things over and tried to work out where the oppression of women in our society comes from, how it originates. Questions we wanted to answer, for example, was why marriage is so much more deeply embedded in women's consciousness than in men's. Stuff like that. We decided to treat them just the way we thought they treated us. We tried to swap roles. Of course, it's ridiculous, even repressive. In the end, it led to nothing. In the end, all the bullshit leads us to enjoy having an oppressed consciousness. Society is not going to let itself change like that. Submission is beautiful. People can learn to enjoy it. There are books, you should read them, where women turn into complete females. They exist for the sole purpose of giving pleasure to the men they love. Of course, it's obscene. Blindfolded and chained or tied up. To let yourself be whipped. For women, happiness is submission. You will learn this, dear, and understand it. You will learn to throw yourself down and be ready when the man you love looks at you. And when he shows contempt, you are to kiss his feet in gratitude because you have been privileged enough to know what it means to be used by him. And my dear, do not use your brain for thinking. Your brain exists for hoping with him that he will want you. Your brain exists for achieving the frenzy that will make you happy. The man is everything. You are nothing.
I have the hots for you, sister. Never done it with a soldier. Soldiers are better than other men because every fuck's the last fuck. Don't play coy with me, honey. You are a woman, aren't you? Of course you are. And women don't think about anything else but men. That's how it is. Hey, right, fight back. I want a conquest. Broad to just lie back and spread. I don't go for that. Doesn't turn me on. Hey, honey, let's hear you scream. I'll stick it in your mouth. Don't be so boring. Jesus Christ, these refined cunts. You have to go begging half a dozen times before they work out what you want. Hey, you know you are real nice. Some legs. Ooh, wild. Belly. Nice tip. Groove it, girl. I'm a man. I need a girl to react so I can tell I'm doing it good. Come on!
It's that simple. I used to like this girl a lot.
Come on! Mama knew best. Always. No matter what I asked, she'd answer me. I'd come home and say, Mama, heat up some soup. I wouldn't have to wait long. Or bread and butter, sprinkled with sugar. Or soft boiled eggs when I was sick. She had a good handle on her child. She taught me how to get on in the world without getting into trouble, stuff like that. It was good advice. In almost every situation I could tell how much people wanted from me and how much I had to give. During the war, when things got bad, when we were crammed into the trenches with tears in our eyes, I kept the image of my mother in mind. She was telling me not to despair. I'm looking for a girl who can be what my mother was for me. I can't find her.
I'm afraid of getting old. What would be the point in being alive? We all need to have fun. The way you get it's your own thing. You have a nice figure. Really? You should have some options, and believe me, that's the most important thing. How will I be able to tell when I'm still alive? When nobody cares about me, then who will I be? No one! I have a friend. She was a top model, the best, really. Now she's 42 and washed up. The whole day she spends in her apartment staring at the telephone, except not a single bastard will call her up. And that's exactly how it would be with me, I know, except I won't let it because I'll kill myself first. A life of despair. Get it. You just need to make sure you bail out in time. But I can't tell you how. Maybe with a husband, children, or some bright idea to help you get it together. Or death. Maybe death's best, after all. I lie in bed and fondle myself. Often. There's never really been anyone else who could do it the right way, so I do it myself. Simple. I work with a great deal of men in my profession, and I see there's a lot of them. A lot of them. That's no problem for me. And why should it be? Just something that happens, like drinking a cup of coffee or the rain falling. It could be that people frighten me. Because relationships are demanding, don't you think? When somebody takes a photograph, I think it's wonderful. For me, it's a sensory experience to pose for a few moments, to smile, even when I'm alone. And there's this soft down on my stomach and on my thigh, soft on the inner part, and my shoulders have nothing. So I like myself less. I don't really let anyone else get in the way.
Take a poem or a single line. Over all the mountain tops quiet reigns. In the deep green forest not a breath stirs. Birds go silent. And you just wait. Soon you too will come to rest. Do you take my meaning? The poet can say things that far outstrip the realm of the normally utterable. The poet is capable of feeling moods which have not yet materialized. And the poet can see things before ordinary mortals have their first inkling. That is why I must learn to study the poet and his work. This applies to me as well, and is the express function of our schools. Of course, we must also study profane subjects, like the simple times tables, or geography and biology, no question. But nothing is of greater significance than understanding our poets and thinkers. I'm also aware that such things as business deals and balance sheets make a most of human existence. For that very reason, people need diversion. Then afterwards, they're better equipped to fill their slots in life. I am sure ours will be a shared learning experience. It took me a long time to admit to myself that I liked men better than women. Much too long. But I was just afraid of the consequences. I thought I'd have to live underground, toilets, bus stoppers, that sort of thing. It's all very frightening if you had a normal upbringing. You shy away from it. But as a matter of fact, it's completely different. My boyfriend is a dancer from Guinea, and we live like man and wife, all perfectly regular. We have fun, visit friends. Everything in life depends on how you go about it. There was a time when I was always on the prowl, looking for it almost every night. But I figure, that's how it is with straights too, until they find a steady partner.
If my husband were alive, He'd be making about 1,500 marks a month. My husband was a locksmith. The state now pays me 340 marks for him as a war casualty. 1,500 for 3 is, however, more than 340 for 2, but no one seems to grasp that. He figured out how someone can survive on 340 marks. 20% for an apartment, that comes to 70 marks. 85 marks a person for staple food, that comes to 170 marks for me and my daughter. Clothes and laundry for 2 gives you 50 marks, and school supplies for my daughter comes to 20 marks. 310 marks that comes to leaves 30 marks for luxury items like clothes, alcohol, chocolate, TV, cigarettes, radio, gifts, vacations. The people who worked this out for me were very friendly.
If you have a shop, you buy the meat in the morning, for example, let's say 1,000 marks, and you cut it and you sell it by closing time. But you can't cut the meat on your own, it'll be too much for you. If you're on your own, you can cut and sell 200 marks worth of meat, so you hire 4 helpers to allow you to sell the meat you bought for 1,000 to resell for 5,000.
Turnover of 5,000. To make this much, you must pay the help 200 marks apiece, a total of 800 marks. So, you buy the meat for 1,000, 800 goes for the help, and 200 for rent. A total of 1,000 for expenses. This leaves you 3,000 profit, which is to say that each employee makes you 800 marks. So for each 200 he earns from you, you earn 800.
Each employee makes you 800 marks. Exactly. So, for each 200 he earns from you, you earn 800 from him.
She was real young and had black hair. Fridays we'd go out for a walk or to the movies, and then I wasn't alone anymore. I used to like working the whole week, because I knew that on Fridays I wouldn't be lonely anymore. My first boss used to hit me when I was 18 years old.
Daydreaming used to help, but just thinking about her. And then one Friday, she didn't come out, and I went home. She must be sick, I thought, or busy. But she didn't come out at all on Fridays anymore, and I cried.
From that moment, I couldn't love another girl. Now, every Friday, I go out and I buy myself a girl.
A few times I tried paying for a little talk, but whores don't like to talk too much because they're just thinking about getting it over with and the money. Now I'm the butcher, and I have a kid working for me who gets hit when he deserves it. I really yearn for a little love.
Couldn't read it as things went all blurry. Somehow I just got this feeling. Friends. He's dead now. And it was like I was being strangled. People are always talking about this kind of thing. And you don't believe them. But when it happens to you, funny. Strangled, not able to get in any more air. Take it from me. People can endure a lot. People can endure a lot even when beforehand you think you'll never be able to stand it. Life carries on even if something inside you's been snuffed out. I always say it, suffering's a part of life too. Sure, you can try and avoid it, but sooner or later you'll realise it was pointless. You can't avoid it. All that wasted energy. You could have put it to better use.